Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 2nd, and it's time to get to work. A little fired up for today, mainly because, there's a concert at Golden One. There's a bunch of other activity going on downtown today. It seems to be pretty busy, and I think there's going to be some pre-Cinco de Mayo festivities happening tonight, probably tomorrow night too. I may drive tomorrow night too, and I may drive in the city, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But also tonight we're going to be test driving Mystro again. Mystro came out with a big update on the 24th, I think it is, of April. I haven't really used it since then, but they've kind of changed how you set filters and do that kind of stuff in there. And actually, we'll take a look at that right now. What they did is now they have it where you can have an auto accept filter setup and an auto decline setup. So what I did was on the auto decline in the drop off zone. Let's look at the map here. So where you see the red is excluded from being auto decline. Essentially, the way that the way it looks like this is set up is within that red area, anything that comes in there will not be auto declined. It's excluded, but everything else around would be declined. At least that's how I'm interpreting the way that this is set up. So we're going to put this to the test and see how that works out. And I may have to monkey with it a little bit, and of course we'll just have to see how it works in general with the apps and see if they fix some of those problems. But yeah, so we're back with Mystro to see how this works out. Here's how the rest of the setup is done with the filters and everything. Uber looks exactly the same way, so there's no difference there. The only thing that we really need to do, well, one of the things we need to figure out is, what Mystro was doing is it wasn't keeping the screen on. Once it was on, it was making, like the screen would go dark, which was a problem. And if it does that, then I'm out. I'll probably turn it off, because that just defeats the whole purpose. But what we need to do is, I'm starting at the airport queue as well tonight, because I just dropped my wife off at the airport. So this is where I'm starting. So I got juice in the battery. I'm ready to go. First thing we need to do, though, is start our day off with a little beverage and get this day rolling right. Little Monster for the night. Not sponsored, by the way, but favorite drink for driving. Which means, what's your favorite drink? Do you have a favorite drink when you drive? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Anyway, let's do this. Let's turn these things on.
Lyft online.
All right, we're in it to win it. Let's see how
Uber
this night
online.
goes. Thank you. Again, should be pretty active downtown, so that's kind of why my focus is in that red area, because I think it's going to be pretty active down there, and it kind of covers the basic areas. If it slows down or this, it's just whatever. I may expand and go out to Roseville and stuff like that, but I kind of want to just keep it in that red area. Oh, look, you lost me. There I am. I kind of wanted to keep it in that red area. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna hang here, hopefully get a ride here pretty quickly. Actually, I'm gonna turn over to Lyft, and we'll see what happens here. So I'll be back as normal after my first ride, and get with updates throughout the rest of the night, and of course with updates on how Mystro is working. I have been getting some questions about with the new setup. So I think I told someone today that I was going to be test driving it tonight. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Alrighty, got our first ride, and it's a good one. It's a little shorty, not even into town. $17 for this. I can't remember. It was like less than 10 miles, 10 or 12 miles for this, and it's 17 something. So nice ride. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is doing this ride. I'm gonna come back here and then try to get another ride that goes back into town. So we'll see how this plays out. But anyway, first ride, head to the pickup right now, and I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, quick update. So I just did these 3 deliveries right here. The pickup, 2 of them were at the same restaurant. One was a restaurant like right next door, and that was in the downtown Commons area where the arena is. 3 orders. Took me, I don't know, 5 minutes to pick up. And then the last one was the longest delivery to get me out here. But this first one right here for $11. Is that one? Is that it? Oh no, it's in here. Hold on. No, I'm not going to Davis. The first order in this thing was literally from where I parked the car to dropping it off. So I parked the car to go get the thing. I had to walk in, probably 100 yards to walk. Then when I got back to the car, another 50 yards to drop it off at the hotel that was right there. And it was like $12. The order came in at 12. That's the order fee plus the tip that was on there. It was literally $12 for 50 yards. I mean, I've never had a better delivery ever than that. And then I got the 2 other ones that were just quick, real easy, go bang, bang, drop off. So between those 3 orders, I think with all the tips that were in there, I'm looking at like $37 for 3 orders. Best 3 orders I think I've ever done. That was as easy as it gets. But anyway, back at it now. We'll see what happens here. So I got to get back into the busy area, and we're gonna go from there. All right, I'll be back. Alrighty, that is a wrap. Back in the garage. Not a bad night. Not really that busy. I actually ended earlier than when I'm shooting this video right now. I took a ride from right around the airport. I was making my way towards the airport. I got a ride going out to Roseville. I had a $5.50 surge on top of the fare, so it was a pretty decent ride going out there. So I figured I would just take it and then head home after that. So that's what I did. But anyway, 11 rides or 11 points on Uber. I don't know, but whatever. Let's look at the important stuff, and that is the rides. So there you go. 7 for 93, not bad. But the last ride really helped out tremendously on that. So let's look at that. All right, let me move me. There we go. So there you go. There's the last ride right there with the 550 surge. Some shorties. Whoa, look at that. Well, that was the 36 bucks. That's the 3 deliveries I talked about that I did, all wrapped up in one. That's pretty solid for 4 miles of driving, half an hour time, 36 bucks. I'll take that any day. That was easy money. Here's the rest of them. Oh, nice little tips there. Not bad. I mean, the delivery and the last ride really made my night for sure when it came to Uber. And let's go look at Lyft. 5 for 50, $10 average. I like it. Decent night. I'll put the total up here on the screen right now. But let's talk Mystro. Mystro did pretty well. It was accepting rides like it should. There was actually at one point that Uber and Lyft came in at the same time with rides, and it took the Lyft ride that had a higher fare than the Uber ride, which I've never seen it do that before, but that was great that it did that. Again, it was auto accepting, auto declining. It was at one point in time, it did have an issue where, again, it was turning the screen off. I had to turn everything off, restart it again, and then it was fine. And that was after I did the 3 deliveries. It just kind of glitched out a little bit. But overall, the filters and everything, the way that they were set up, worked as I put them in there. There were no issues there, and everything else was fine with using both apps at the same time. There was a couple times where it did not, or one time where it did not turn off the Lyft app when I was on a Uber ride that I took, which was a Trip Radar ride. It didn't turn off the Lyft like it should have, which, you know, not a deal breaker. Anyway, I'm gonna try it out again the next time I drive. Again, I may drive tomorrow night, I may not. If not, it'll be maybe Monday because that's Cinco de Mayo, and Wednesday for sure. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, you'll know because there'll be a video when I do it. Anyway, not a bad night for the time that I have out there. And yeah, so let's see. If you've made it this far, please throw a like and a comment down below if you have one. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. I would appreciate it. And in the meantime, I will see you guys next week for sure. Maybe Monday, or maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, Wednesday for sure. I'll see you then. All right, thanks.